Welcome to The Exchange. I'm Guy Schoen, bringing you the biggest news and interviews from all around the business world. Coming up on the show, leading the digital charge in Europe, we speak to Estonia's Minister of Employment about the future of jobs. And we head to Qatar, where a startup with a fresh take on the gig economy is taking on delivery giants. Plus, we find out how the unstoppable trend of home working is changing the future of jobs. 18% of us now work from home permanently, but a recent study by the University of Chicago revealed that it's possible this number could even double without any more advances in technology. So 2 out of every 5 jobs right now could potentially be done from home. And this means we've got the very real possibility of creating a world with over 1 billion home workers. Well, one nation pushing the boundary of remote and home working is Estonia. The European country is often hailed as the most digitally advanced society on Earth. So how does the nation that gave us Skype and made internet access a basic human right feel about the changing shape of the jobs market? Well, joining me now is Estonia's Minister for Health and Labour, Tanel Kiik. Minister, thank you for joining us. So how should we feel about the gig economy then? Is it a future growth story or a cause for concern?
I think that the gig economy is something that's not only here to stay, but probably here to grow. And so I think there's no reason to actually fight against it. Or the world is changing constantly, economy is changing, and of course the work market and jobs market is also changing.
So many of us now working from home. So how should we approach this new way of working? Should we embrace it or should we feel cautious?
You can't expect the world of work to be in a stable mode. I think the different changes of the work or the new forms of work is only a positive thing. We can't put everybody in the same box and say that this is your work contract and this is your working hours and this is your salary and be happy with that.
Minister Kiik, thank you so much for joining us. Now let's quickly bring in someone who builds the tech that allows all this home working to happen. Cisco European Vice President Adam McHale joins me now. Adam, how important is broadband connectivity to all of this then?
Thanks, Guy, and thanks for having me on. I think before we went into the pandemic, there was a lot of talk in the industry about how transformational 5G was going to be. And it will be, and it's a very important technology. But what we saw with that huge shift overnight of people working from home was a huge reliance. I mean, essentially, the broadband infrastructure became critical national infrastructure. And we saw traffic growth that we would normally see in the space of 18 months, in the space of a few days. We wanted to find out how important that was. So we did a survey of 13,000 people across 6 different countries. 78% of them came back and said that they thought that it was absolutely critical to them.
Brands like Amazon and Alibaba have created profound changes to the way people live and work. But despite the billion-dollar success stories, the gig economy still has its critics. Sherazad Safler has more now from Doha on the delivery app trying to put people first.
This startup in Qatar considers itself a super mobile app. Its fleet of vehicles poised to react to the ping of an order for thousands of locations around the country as they aim to dominate the marketplace, but with policies that put people first. I'm now in the operations department where drivers receive support and training. It's also where hundreds of mobile and internet devices leave from every day to reach their various destinations. And this digital disruptor is backed by Microsoft to give customers a speedier service. It's the very first startup in Qatar to raise $5 million in a Series A funding round.
We have this commitment to lead the technology in Qatar and make sure that Qatar is one of the pioneer countries in the technology world. This $5 million will go to 3 strategic directions for Sununu. Number 1, to gain a competitive edge in technology. Number 2 is provide a state-of-art marketing. And number 3, to attract the best talent to Sununu.
And these delivery jobs have had to change to suit the environment and show some compassion. During the sweltering summer months, none of the 600 drivers will deliver on bikes. Its more than 250 vibrant young employees from 35 different countries also see their jobs evolving constantly thanks to digital innovation. This startup managed to seize the market opportunity while adding a slice of creativity.
Now, the world of recruitment is transforming too. Employment expert Juliet Eccleston spoke to me earlier from London. She explained the challenges young people face in finding jobs in an increasingly digital world.
I've looked at a lot of CVs of people that have just come straight from college or have done a few retail roles, maybe, things like that. And it's incredibly difficult to see the difference between people at that age. And I think one of the things that I've talked to those people about to help them is to focus on some of the more vocational stuff they may have done. So have they, a lot of the younger people, for example, have gone onto platforms and they're actually micro-entrepreneurs behind the scenes, sort of sharing things, renting things out, selling goods. So many people within that bracket. We know that 70% of 18 to 25-year-olds have used sharing economy platforms. And so those kinds of skills are actually incredibly interesting for businesses.
Now it's time for Business in 60 Seconds. Let's take a look at what other stories are making the headlines around the world. The prestigious 2021 Cannes Film Festival has enjoyed one of its standout years with more than 2,500 films submitted. But beyond the glamour of the Palme d'Or, the event generates millions of euros for the movie industry. It's monetary policy meeting time in Frankfurt at the European Central Bank. Christine Lagarde and her colleagues have a tricky tightrope to walk with policymakers watching US inflation data and concerns about the economic impact of a COVID resurgence in Europe, all piling on the pressure from both sides to review its massive €80 billion per month pandemic bond buying programme. And finally, the much-awaited and hotly debated Tokyo Olympics gets underway. Despite concerns from public health experts about the 32nd Olympiad becoming a super spreader event for COVID-19, the whole business of hosting the Games is expected to generate an estimated €15 billion for a country whose economy shrank by almost 4% in the first 3 months of the year. Made it with 1 second to go. Well, that's all we have time for on this edition of the show. Thank you for watching. Please do check out all your latest business news on euronews.com and join us again next time on The Exchange.